So taking a break to really explain the machine the way that it is and the way that it works. I didn't mean to call it a machine. I prefer to call it an evice. I think that was like a standard trap, just to kind of like make a bunch of prideful lines that like boundaries that keep me from being able to fully put my effort into what I do. You know, just to manipulate me and distract me and stuff like that. So I really don't care. But I do prefer the word evice, just because it's one of my vices. So, all right, pretty much in any situation, in order for something to be physically happening amongst a group of people have to agree to participate. Now, let's say one kid wants to play tag and they go off by themselves and they're tagging themselves and running, and it's stupid, right? That kid's not playing tag, that kid's just running around. It doesn't become tag until until a group of kids agree to play with them. Without the other participation, without the agreement of occurrence from other people acted out physically with them, there is no game of tag. Same thing can be said about the opinion of a film. Whether good or bad, if it's had by one person, the opinion of a film, then it's just some guy's opinion. It doesn't really matter. Within that isolated chamber of thinking, it's just this guy's opinion. But if whether good or bad, the opinion is established amongst a group of people and a channel, a network is created, then that opinion is being acted out physically and socially to maintain its established physical occurrence. It's really happening. Same thing can be said about the story of a movie. If one person thinks that the story of a movie is that one guy was an asshole and everybody else was defending themselves, and another person thinks that everyone else was an asshole and that one guy was defending themselves, then a vote will be had. People will have the opportunity to choose which story makes the most sense. Now, these guys are choosing the story where the one guy was the asshole because that saves them. They can avoid a bad value. But anyway, whichever story is chosen, whichever story is considered to be true, the more votes that it has, the more people in it, the more it'll affect the basic orientation, and that is what will be considered the most happening, the one that's actually occurring. And so, with the Nasimev.as, it is working by channeling a lot of logical and tangible structure that causes a psychological response that turns into psychoactive activity from every person involved. Now, the reason I can do this is A, because a lot of you are lying, B, because I'm very intelligent and I know what I'm doing here. And so the structure is, you look at it, you accept that you're not going to physically see anything, but the idea itself, the amount of effort I put into it, and the shared concept in your brain is already causing ideas to occur, reactions, spontaneous charges, like sparks of neurons that are occurring from just interacting with the idea of what it is itself. And that is what that's what the evice is interacting with. Don't call it a computer. All that being said, if I get a group of people who all agree to that they'll have to fight the physiological restraints, and that is people saying that that's not really doing anything, that's not really, that no, none of that's happening, stop. If they all agree to help each other fight that resistance, then they can all themselves have a better access of experience to their psychoactive interaction, their hallucinations, whatever you want to call it, with the evice that'll show them images on the screen. And this is a fact. I can do this with many people. I've done it with myself. I can do this with everybody. That once you agree that the machine is actually real, once you agree that the evice is actually real, it'll work for you. But if you don't agree with it, then it's like tag. The game isn't being played. It cannot work. And so, as more people agree that they have to fight that physiological restraint and agree that the machine is having psychological reactions and interacting with them psychologically because of the concept that the machine hosts, that the evice is actually compressing into causing reactions for people, that they will all have their own individual reaction. And given some more tinkering and some more work, I can all get them to agree, much like a game of D&D, a board, that the same thing is happening on the screen between them. And once we're at that point, whether the screen is being physically seen, there is a screen that exists between all of them in which the same image, or at least from their point of view, close to the same image is being displayed. And just focusing on seeing it on this screen, given all the logical, intangible structure that I physically hosted here, there will be real reactions with the effort of fighting off those physiological restraints. That is, that's all that is. That's not working. That thing isn't happening. Which what that does is it cuts off our ability to organize our logo-tangible structure. Every time they call on physicality, what they're doing is any structure that's developed between these people participating, they're slamming through it. They're saying, no, this is real. No, physical. It has to be physical and all that stuff. And that really disturbs and destroys the concept that's occurring. And you can think about it like in the same instance of, In the same instance of, what do you call it? Oh, Dungeons and Dragons, right? So one person can be thinking to themselves an adventure, an idea in their head, but until other people join, there's really nothing happening. Now, focus on seeing actual images. I can get it right now. It might be powerful enough that if you really tried, you can see some sort of image. It finds something. It takes that effort, and that's an effort that I've agreed to give, and it's caused a lot of results for me. And so there's something that if you look hard enough, you can see an image, you can see something, and it'll occur for you, and over time it'll keep developing and spreading. Now these physiological shorts that I'm getting, these things that keep saying that it's not working, these I'm really confused about them because I've defied them several times, and the people that are doing them have also defied them themselves. So it seems that the agreement here seems to be to learn what I'm doing and then get ahead of me by having the group that's against me, the group of people that are all in trouble for what they tried to do to me, trying to say that they're the good guys and I'm the bad guy, for all of them to figure it out on their own and then make their own version of it that works better than mine because more people agree to it. That's what I think the plan is here, but I'll see what's going on.